Well, there's a certain calm that's descended over Asian markets today. Whether everyone's got their eye on the US political situation is yet to be seen. I suspect that is largely the case. I mean, we haven't really seen any major moves coming through in markets today. There's been a lot of talk about this conspiracy theories, as Donald Trump would like to say, that there's reports that the Russians had very sensitive information about Donald Trump's personal and financial life, and whether or not they'd be able to disclose that. That's certainly been investigated, but he said this is all fake news and has rebutted this quite sharply, as you'd expect he would. Obviously, all eyes on his speech at 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern Daylight Time. What will he focus on in there? That's been the talk amongst traders today. Will he focus more on protectionist measures, trade measures, which could be a bit of a concern for markets if they hear very definitive talk, very fighting rhetoric, or will he talk more inspiring rhetoric, which would include things like further information around tax cuts, fiscal spend, infrastructure spend, deregulation, and things that have really caused us to sell fixed income, buy US dollars and buy financials, for example. So that's been the real focus of the market. There's not really been much on the economic data front. If we look in the equity markets, well, here in Australia, we saw the ASX 200 really hit that 5,800 level, a strong open, and we've seen sellers really coming in ever since that point. With most of the selling really in financials, REITs have been under a bit of pressure. The place to be has been the mining space. That's done very well today, certainly come a little bit off the highs, but the big story there, of course, is what's happening in bulk commodities. China is really coming to the party at the moment. They've got a big insatiable appetite for iron ore, rebar, and of course coking coal. We've seen the inventory numbers in China reaching what looks like record levels, both for steel and for iron ore. We've seen a number of regions being told to cut back on production to get rid of some of the overcapacity, and we've seen those PPI numbers yesterday, and inflation numbers very strong as well. So there's a whole realm of different reasons, but bulk commodities looking very strong at the moment, and iron ore plays, especially the pure plays, have done very nicely. Coking coal stocks doing quite nicely as well. If we look at Japan, that market down about 50 basis points at the moment. Is up at about 30 basis points at the moment. China's down 50 basis points. A bit of a mixed reaction amongst the equity markets. If we look in the currency markets and the commodity markets, though, if we look at oil and gold and the dollar pairs, we can see very, very limited moves today. No one's really bidding up or offering any of these currency pairs or commodities. Maybe that's a situation around what's happening with Donald Trump, but no one's really prepared to put too much risk on today until we maybe get that colour coming through. So very, very low moves in FX and certain commodities. Equity markets, no real rhyme or reason, a little bit mixed on the day.